another day, sailing away from me. And though the work isn't done, I don't want to hear you. 'Cause you cannot master the threat. It's a uphill battle, but it's my attitude. I'm prepared. If I had to travel a destined avenue, but don't mistake this places for no foundation. I may be an optimist, but I know where we're up against, so shut it. Hate it or love it, we're building yes to nothing. One can be a realist and still have to fight nothing. I understand that you're down and out, but I cannot have you around. Stay from me. If your plans decide, there is just no way I'll concede and bury my mind to wait in defeat. Satisfy yourself, you're not even my enemy. Yeah, you try to show down and some around it, place your word. Brushing it like it's an honest cruelty, but again you call it that when you won't leave and stand on your face. You're demoralized, you're demoralized, you're demoralized. Place no run around, but when we win, it's on the time, don't matter, man. No, you will definitely benefit. Don't ever act like you paid a cent. I understand that you're down and out, but I cannot have you around. Stay from me. If your plans decide, there is just no way I'll concede and bury my mind to wait in defeat. There's gotta be a way where there's a will, because our fate is now sealed. There is just no way I'll concede and bury my mind to wait in defeat. Yo, we gotta leave, but you got to get from around it and take that black pill right back to wherever you live. We're dealing with an age, a different set of ethics that we know. It's bad, but that don't mean we have to lose. This content is not stay from me. If your plans decide, there is just no way I'll concede and bury my mind to wait in defeat. There's gotta be a way where there's a will, because our fate is now sealed. There is just no way I'll concede and bury my mind to wait in defeat. We will win. We will win. Move.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is not going to be a long stream. I'm sorry, I do have the for Canon's sake because I didn't have another overlay to use, so I'm using the for Canon's sake overlay. Why not? A little short stream talking about the festivities last night. We had a blast. I want to discuss some of that. Really interesting things happening with RippaSend. We'll talk about that as well. And just general updates, man, because I have not been streaming that much. And really, that's not going to change because, well, Rippaverse is the #1 focus as far as I'm concerned with all that I have going. So we'll stream from time to time, but most of it's going to be me working, doing stuff pertaining to the Rippaverse. So thanks first and foremost to everybody that came out and showed love. To the Rippaverse meetup at Boozy Bird last night. I had a blast. Is it the best meetup that we've had so far? Of course, that's always going to be up for dispute. But I will say this, and this usually does happen, but it was a little different this go around. I was contained to the merch table the entire time, 4 hours. I was there, did not move. Holy crap. I mean, we're talking lines going out of the building, bro. And the thing that I'm glad, I guess, about is we got to talk to everybody. And so everybody that was waiting in line got to get in and eventually chat. And I love this stuff. We don't do it nearly enough. I mean, definitely we have even more of a reason to do it with Rippaverse being as successful as it has been early on. We've had our presence in various cons. We did MegaCon. We have Denver Fan Expo next month. So it's more reason for us to kind of get out for sure. But still, man, each time is surreal. The lines that we had at MegaCon, unreal. And this is different, right? It's one thing to be at an event that a lot of people are already going to anyway. It's another to host your own. And that's what makes these meetups so special, because it's for you guys, specifically a Meetup. It's for the fans. That's why we do it. And for you guys to still come out and show the love that you've shown, man, it's been unreal. What we do is not just contained to, or we always say, the corner of our internet. It's more than that. It's far more real, and these events prove that. You guys are willing to travel. You get out. I mean, I'm hearing places that people that come from all throughout the night, and it was just insane, man. People coming from all over the country just to meet up, show some love, hang out with fellow fans, and get some stuff signed. We're taking pictures. We're doing it all. So it was just a wonderful experience, wonderful day. And I'm obviously very, very thankful for all of you. But I just love hearing the stories, man, about people and like what kind of brought them to this space or this sphere. And it's always cool. It's everybody's got a different one. Maybe they met someone or met their favorite creator through someone else. Maybe it was a friend. Maybe they met a creator through another creator. Everybody has their different story, and it's always cool to hear. But you have people that, obviously the Rippaverse was there, but we got to give a big shout out to all of our friends that were there as well. Members of the G&G team. We had Beardo. We had my man's Drunk 3PO, who I got to talk about here in a little bit. Like, holy shit, man, what we did with that Eggomatic Chronicles Blue. We'll talk about that. He was there. Melanie Max there. Craig was there, who I didn't get even a chance to talk to because everything was crazy. We had, who else? Obviously, Comics Division was there. The Saskas. I mean, that's just including that as part of the Rippaverse team. But it was just crazy, man. And everybody's waiting in line for them. They're waiting in line for us, and we're taking pictures all day long. And like I said, hearing people's story, because oftentimes it's, hey, I found out about you through this creator that was also there. Gary, of course, from Neurotic, being one of the bigger names there, if not the biggest one. And this time it was different. Usually he's kind of contained to a merch table. That man set up right in the smack middle of the event and said, look, man, I just want to sit here and meet. I'm not worried about selling things. I want to meet folk. I want to chat with everybody, and that's exactly what he did. So big shout out to Gary. I know a lot of those guys are streaming right now, actually. But big shout out to him. Big shout out to his team, X-Ray Girl, everybody that was there. I can't even name everybody, but everybody, it was so many people that was there, and people that were not necessarily had a booth that was coming through, also showing some love. Yeah, Lila, you had, who else? Obviously, Alex Stein was there for a little bit. Just people coming through, showing love, meeting fans. It was all love and support and just job, man. I leave those feeling just as inspired as ever. It's not to say that I, let's say, need to be inspired. I got day-to-day stuff that inspires me enough. But you get what I'm saying, right? It's very easy to come out of an event like that being stoked and being ready to get back to work because, again, I'm hearing everybody's story. I'm hearing what people have people felt about the various topics that we've discussed, maybe in the realm of comic books and everything, and how they kind of stumbled upon the Rippaverse. And now it's their go-to form of entertainment. That is awesome. And like I said, it's very inspiring because I want to keep those people fans, obviously. But, you know, we're building something that's real. It's way bigger than me, for sure. It's, again, a fun sandbox, and part of that fun is meeting also other people. So, you know, everything that I do with the Rippaverse is trying to not only just grow that aspect of the company, but, you know, make it better, right? I always talk about enhancing and trying to improve on the customer experience. And a lot of like the stuff that we're doing with the new website, the memberships, everything. It's all about trying to encourage that fun sandbox. We want to make sure that we're preserving it for sure. We want to maintain fun. This is a place where a lot of people get away. You know, you may have a hard day work and you just want to chat about nerd stuff. And we're building that. We're very much at the beginning of it, but we're building that. And coming out of an event like that, it's always fun. It's just, I get very, very inspired because I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys what you want and what you're craving for, definitely as far as entertainment is concerned. So it really does light a fire up under me that I really already had. But, man, it's just, so much fun that we've had. But thanks to everybody that came out there. I see in all the pictures. Every time I come across it on my timeline or like Twitter, I'm trying to retweet it because there's lots of pictures, lots of videos that have been out there. I know that G&G was streaming for a little bit there as well. I know you saw some of those lines outside. It was crazy, man. It was fucking unbelievable because even me, like, I'm seeing all these people start to pile in, and I'm like, bro, what is this? What's going on? Like with these lines, man, because it's like you got a line obviously inside, but then that line is also going outside because people are trying to get in. And this is why it was so important for you have to RSVP with stuff like that. You're going to have limited space. We don't want the event to get shut down, fire marshals and all that stuff. But, you know, big shout out to the staff, Boozy Bird. Those guys took great care of us, man. And it was about as smooth as an event could go. And that's a testament to everybody that worked hard to make sure that everybody was taken care of. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to y'all that came out. I know you had fun. I had a lot of fun. And yeah, we need to do these more often. I got to give a big shout out to my man Drunk 3PO because we went into it like, I remember talking to, you know, I had, obviously my wife was there, my niece is there. And, you know, we were talking about the Eggomatic Chronicles Blue and how many we were going to sell. Because, you know, like, hey, we're going to save this for Denver. What are we going to do? We put a couple out, and we're like, all right, we'll put a couple out. If people want to buy them, they want to buy them. Guys, we went through that whole box. We went through that whole box, and I don't even know what to say. Because I was not anticipating that. I don't think anybody was. But it got me so excited for what we're going to do with RippaSend. I want to make that man so much money, man. For himself. Not for us, for himself. Obviously, everybody has incentive because, you know, if the project makes money, everybody makes money. But, dude, that thing was in demand. A lot of people were wanting to get blue. And we sold out. And it was like halfway into the night, bro. Like, we would have sold far more if we had more. So I'm already trying to, Monday, I got some meetings that I'm going to get lined up to see what we're going to be able to do to get ready for Denver, because we need to make sure that people are able to get that. Of course, we got the campaign stuff that we're trying to get launched soon with Green. Website is kind of at its latter stages, right? But yeah, shout out to Drunk 3PO, man. He was there. A lot of folks showing him love, man. Oh, man, just amazing. Just amazing. See, my man's Jeremy's in the chat. Shout out to him. He couldn't make it, had some things to do, but we did have some G&G representation there. Of course, NJ, as well as Beardo, as well as Steph was there. So lots of fun was still had with the G&G team. So big shout out to them. He'll make the next one. We'll make sure of it. But stuff comes up, man. He had some things that he was tied up with and couldn't make it, unfortunately. But we'll make sure he's there with the next one. We will do more of these. These are always fun. Man, just had so much fun on this. This is one of the. It's hard to say if it was the greatest one, but it was a good one. If you were there, you were there. Yeah, someone's brought Tugs. Yeah, Tugs was there as well, representing. Tugs is there. I mean, so many people were there, dude. And I'm just glad that everybody got to meet the people that all the talent that was there, but it's ultimately about having those conversations and conversing with you guys. That's why we do it. Specifically, the point of the meetup. The meetup is about fun. You get to meet each other. You get to meet us. We get to actually chat with you. Of course, we'll have merchandise, and Rippaverse had books that were up for sale, but ultimately it's about meeting up with y'all, man. So thank you. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support. We had a great time. It was a fantastic time. And we got to do it again soon. And again, big shout out to Boozy Bird for hosting us there. What a great event it was. Let me get to some of these super chats. Again, never mind this whole thing that we got going on here. And my camera isn't even centered. Let me fix that real quick. Hold on just a second. Hold up just a second. Do I have it be right back? No, I don't. I only have starting soon. Hold up. All right. So yeah, it's what a time it was. Let's get to some of these super chats though. We have Buried X with 15 months says, I'm excited to read Alpha Core number 2 after Yaira number 1. I'm glad you dig it. Obviously, Alpha Core had a great presence in, and we told you guys that. I'm not going to spoil it. We're not ready for spoiler talk quite yet, but you do know that Alpha Core had a nice little presence in Yaira number 1. So a lot of people are stoked for them. Chuck hasn't started on Alpha Core 2 quite yet, not to my knowledge. But there's some other stuff that he's doing, and he is going to get back on Alpha Core as well. I know he's really excited for Horseman and for you guys to read that. We got my man John A. Douglas. What's up, bro? With a 6 month says, come hell or high water. No one can tear down what you've built, no matter how much they cope and seethe. We're real, recognize real. Hail the Iron Age. Thank you so much. Oh man, yeah, man. At this point, it's I've had a lot of things thrown at me. The company has had a lot of things thrown at us, and if we can survive that, we can survive just about anything. Again, testament to the actual audience, to the guys that have shown us all the love. So shout out to y'all, and we just want to keep building, keep getting bigger, better as a company. More books, more content for you guys to enjoy, and taking things to a new level every opportunity that we can get. I work very, very hard for this company. Everybody does. It's here, and we know it's on the line, and we want to make sure that we keep that up, keep up that productivity, even increasing it. We always finding ways to be more efficient. But at the end of the day, we can sit up here and talk all day long about what we would like to do and what we want to do. It's much better for us to just show you, just to show you. That's what it's about. We have Angela with a 10 says, so happy to have seen you and your crew at Boozy Bird. Big shout out to you, Angela, as well. Last night says, love the pictures we got. Shout out to you. Glad you got the pictures. I love to see those. Posting all of them. I'm making sure that all of those get retweeted. And all that good stuff. So, yeah. We got Garfield's Bizarre Adventure with a 14 month says, put it into the record books. Another Rippaverse W's, Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. Yeah, look, I understand that the Rippaverse has a very enthusiastic fan base, and you guys show it in more ways than one. I get it that some folks will never be able to understand it. They don't even want to. There's people still out there denying that it's real. It's like they don't want to believe it, but ultimately that's not who we do it for. We do it for you guys. And this shows, I guess, this is a way that it kind of does manifest itself, especially IRL, because, we get to physically see you guys. And I love that part of it, man. Love, hey, I'm so-and-so. You see me in the chat. This is a screen name. Like, oh, okay, I see you all the time. And, some of it's reoccurring guys. I see people that I've obviously before. Finally got to meet Avery, who I know is in the chat. Obviously, I met CJ before. He was there. All the bros that were there showing love, man. Dude, it's just, it's really humbling, man. And it just goes to, it's just, like I said before, just very inspiring, man. Very inspiring. Dan Vask! There's a lot of love being shown to Dan Vask yesterday. We have Dan Vask with a gifted 20. Woo! Man, bro. Shout out to Dan Vask. We got to get to him the fuck out of Brazil. Maybe just for a little bit. Think it'll happen soon enough, man. Says FOMO is real, man. Yeah, we got to get you out here, man. Golly, I would love to have. I would love to get Dan out here, not just for a meetup, but to figure out what we can do with like a live show as well, as far as some music. I think everybody would love that. We got to make it happen, man. We got to make it happen. Shout out Dan, man. Much love to Dan. And I appreciate that 20. That ain't cheap. 20 gifted. Whew. Shout out, man. Much love to Dan. We got to get him out here. We got my man's Tearing the Black, 22 months. Says, I hate that I was sick this weekend. Yeah, I was wondering where you at, man. Says, shout out to the crew. And F the Hater says, Tearing the Black. Yeah, I was wondering where you at. Says, usually if we're in Dallas, man, we usually see you. But, it's bugs going around. Our man's Alex couldn't be there. He was sick as well. A lot of people were asking about him, like, hey, is Alex here? Who is also, obviously he plays a very vital role in the leadership team here at Rippaverse, but he's also a member of Backwards. So people ask about him, and he unfortunately was not able to get out because he was sick as well. So we got to get y'all. We'll have another one. We'll have another one. You guys will get an opportunity for sure. This ain't going to be the last one. And maybe we should be doing these more often. Maybe instead of just yearly, maybe we should be doing multiple ones. Joker's Disciple with a 2 says, who got the highest score on the boxing machine? Says 2, Brandon stronger than Ripper, confirmed. Well, nah, a lot of those boxing machines are cheap as fuck, but nah, Brandon, yeah, he did have the highest score on it. Brandon had the highest score. He beat everybody on it. I only punched it once. And I'm swinging. Like, you got motherfuckers getting a run and start trying to cock back and do all this shit. Like, I'm using proper boxing form, you know what I'm saying? Like, trying to actually swing. I'm swinging a hook and shit. But nah, it's Brandon he did have the highest score. Brandon had the highest score on the boxing machine. I only hit it once, though. Bruce, my man's Bruce, what's up with the test? Hopefully I can do Orlando MegaCon. I canceled Dallas before the meet was announced when Fan Expo was a no-go for the river. Look, man, and I hate that so much. There's a lot of people that have asked, like, why were you not at Fan Expo? And I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I don't have an answer for you. I don't. Like, let's say that this is what I can say about that. We very much wanted to be there. That's about all I can say on it. It's our hometown. It made the most sense of anything that we could have done, but let's just say it didn't work out, I guess. And I know that you were going to be there. Was really looking forward to that. Unfortunately, sucks, but because at least if you had still came out, you could have went to Fan Expo and then could have came to the event. But we had announced the event by that time anyway. I mean, a big part of doing the event was exactly that. It was like, okay, we can't hold out for that long by trying to, hey, audience, we don't know what the hell is going to happen. So we just figured we just have an event ourselves. That's why we made this thing pop off. So Yeah. Appreciate you, Bruce. We got Steven with a 2 months says, unfortunately, had the work, so oh, you had to work, got you. So I couldn't make it, but I would like to share. Oh, wait a minute. Jumped up on me. Where'd it go? There it is. I would like to have met you, Black Stanley, Black Walt Disney. I had like a few people call me that again, man. This yesterday, crazy. There's going to be more opportunities, man. We're going to make sure that we do these a lot more often. We're having more of a presence so you guys can come meet the talent, show love. So, yeah. We got Reverse Lee with a 16 months. Thank you. That's a minute. Stana Math with a 10 says, received my Yara order yesterday. I couldn't be happier. I hadn't bought a comic in over a decade. Wow, before I saw him. Now I won't miss a campaign. Says, hail to you, Eric, for bringing back my excitement to comics. That's what it's about. It is about you guys having fun. It's about excitement. The enthusiasm's there. We love to see it, baby. Q-Ball with a 51 months says, hopefully everyone had fun. Looks like they did. Said it would have been tough to make it from Pennsylvania. When you coming up here? Anyways, go back to the grind. Soon enough. We do want, like I said, we want to do more of these, man, for sure. Hex Spawn with a 2 says, let's go Celtics. That game's tonight, ain't it? Stephen De Leon with a 2 says, shout out West Texas. Bill Mafia says, hashtag shout out West Texas. Larry, my man, said with a 5 on the road home. Enjoyed meeting everyone last night. Love to everyone. Yes, man, got to meet you finally, man. Much love to you, man. It was cool that you came out rocking that Rippaverse stuff. And got to chat with you a little bit, man. That was cool. Man, big shout out to you, bro. Much love to Larry, man. Finally getting to meet him. I love stuff like this, man. Godzilla's Greaser with the 5 says, it was great to see you in person again, Ripper. Come to Dallas anytime. Well, I'm here, so I'm game for that, bro. Game for that. My man Avery, there he is with a 5, says, I was disappointed with the meetup. No misogynist, man-hater, homophobes, racists, or even man-childs. I couldn't even find any gatekeepers. Shaking my head. Yeah, it was yet another happy, successful event. Got to finally meet Avery, man. He came out long ways. Much love to him, man. Golly, it was cool to talk to him. It's always good to, again, chat with folks that we see all the time in the chat. You kind of put a name or face to the name and to get to actually meet these people. And they're stand-up dudes, man. All stand-up dudes. And the coolest thing about this is that you have these little, this is why I prioritize fandom with the Rippaverse, because what ends up happening, like we saw, we might be still talking, but you have fans that have met up with each other as well, and they're chatting amongst each other, having fun, man. That's what this shit is all about, bro. That's what it's all about, man. Steven with a 5 said, my favorite part of Isom is when he fought Jake Paul and Dave Filoni. Thank God Captain Marvel was there to help Isom. Come out to Bell County's Larry Parker with a 2 says Bell County Comic Con in August. That's the one that the Iconic guys do, right? My bad. Sorry, I feel like an idiot. You don't feel like, for what? Godzilla Greaser, you good. Bunkerhole Tiger, that's his name. With a 2 says, don't mind me. I won't mind you. Thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah. So all right, so somebody confirmed in the chat that's who it is. Yeah. We've never done that at Comic-Con. Look, I'm not against doing those. I know we got to pick our spots to be smart about it, but definitely the ones that are like in Texas that are local to us, those are easier to do. So we want to make sure we take advantage of those. Again, I don't really have an answer as to why we're not at Fan Expo, but those types are the ones that should be like off rip. We should be doing those. Off rip. Maybe next time. Let's see. But yeah, I'm game. If it makes sense, if we can make it make sense. I know we got next month, so our July con is going to be in Denver. We will be there. The whole entire team will be there. Some of our talent that will be there will be the Soskas as well as Mike Barron. So yeah, it's gonna be a good one. So if you are in the area, come show love at that one. We don't have any more lined up that I can think of through the summer. I know a lot of people are asking about San Diego Comic-Con. We have not been in contact with San Diego Comic-Con, just for full transparency. So there's that. But of course, if we can make these things make sense, we're up for it. That's all these things are, man. It's about making them make sense. So we are getting to a point to where now that we're on everybody's radar and we have more of a draw that is proven, especially physically. The way I see it, cons are missing out on money by not having us there. Let's say this, if the opportunity is there, right? Because I get it. Some of this stuff gets booked out well in advance, and it's not enough tables and shit, though. That's a little questionable too, because if they want you there, they'll find a spot for you. That's kind of how these things work. But I digress. But yeah, if they want us there, have them hit us up. I mean, we're not against it. That's for sure. What I can't do is like we did here. I mean, it's easy to do what we did here, where it's like, okay, well, this isn't gonna happen, so we're just gonna plan a meetup. I can't just go to another city and plan a meetup. I can, I guess, but it just made sense because we're based out of Texas, so. That's why this one made a lot of sense for us to pull that off. Just joking. Don't ask how I got that information on Twitter. Bunghole monitors that dregs are on the internet. Yeah, the internet's a crazy place, is it not? Harry Toe with a 48 months says, hey, Eric, any chance you will go to Emerald City Comic-Con in Seattle on March in 2025? I think it's close to commute for the Twisted Sisters. Yes, closer, that's for sure. I can't say there's not a chance to go at any of these. Of course, there's a chance. We have not confirmed. Like I said, the only one that we have confirmed that we are for sure going to be at is going to be Denver Comic Con. That one's going to happen, no doubt about it. Everything's planned. Everybody's stoked. Everybody's excited for it. But there's nothing else lined up that I can think of. Maybe I'm forgetting some. But there's nothing else that I can think of that we have lined up. I think what we have is what we have. And that's just Comic-Con. It's Comic-Con, excuse me. Fan Expo, Denver Fan Expo. So yeah. Like I said, man, hit these places up. If you want us to be there, we are very easy to contact, as our customers know. Definitely when they have problems with their orders, it's very easy. We're easy to contact. If y'all want us at the spot, we have a draw in multiple states as well. Hit us up. We'll make it happen, baby. We will make it happen. All right, let me go over here as well. People run those. It's a lot. Look, with any con, bro, it's gonna be some level of politics. About politics, I'm not meaning like in reference to like government shit. I'm more so speaking to like you can imagine, man. Definitely ones that have been around. There's a little We're a relatively new publisher, right? And also one that defied all odds and did things the way that, let's say, not many people do it. So it's gonna always come with like shit. I mean, for lack of better terms. And I'm not one to. If you don't want us there, we're not gonna force our way there. That's not how I operate. We go places that we wanted to, that they want us at. So yeah, with anything, definitely at that level, there's gonna be a little gamesmanship for sure. There's always gonna be a give and a take. There's always gonna be you got to put up with shit that you might not want to put up with. But you know, it's always to a certain degree for sure. With us, and like if like there's an event that they feel like they got it under control, they got enough talent, they want to take care of it, that's fine. That's let them do that. The cool thing is we can do, like I said, what we did here in Dallas, and just do an event ourselves. Hell, it's probably even more preferable. It might not be as long, but it's more preferable because it's more centralized to what we're doing. So we get to make the experience unique as we want to. Meetups are cool, man. I love doing those. Love doing those. RippaCon, I don't know if that's we're ready for all that shit, but we do have some sort of draw. That much we do know. Appreciate you in the chat showing love to Yaira. Thank you. Thank you to everybody. Man, Houston. Yeah, we haven't been back to Houston yet. I mean, we haven't done my series since that one time. I haven't, at least. But yeah, like Brandon said, contact those conventions if you want us to be there. You know, they have people that are there that are specifically tasked with getting talent there. If there's enough demand, perhaps they will reach out to us. And yeah. Yeah, so there's that. Caught it. Well, yeah, let me just address that real quick. Yeah, it's such a weird thing because it's like, you know, we had Beardo in there streaming, so you had multiple people that were streaming, and people saw how tied up that I was the entire night. You know, I was stuck. I won't say stuck. That's not the proper term. I was contained to this spot because I had to meet all these people. You guys saw the line. So it was weird seeing that. I guess some folks were confused and out of what happened, because I'll tell you this much. From my perspective and from what I pick up, this is what I believe happened, or I won't say what I believe, what I'm being told that happened. So apparently there was a goofball at some point that was like outside, right? And remember, this is an RSVP event, so I'm assuming that it was always going to be rebel rousing regardless. So it was an RSVP event. You had to have your name and all that stuff. We had to have that documented before anybody was going to get let in, either way it goes. I mean, you have to do that stuff. I mean, you guys saw the line, and we don't want the event to be closed down for fire marshals. That's why we do the RSVP at those events. And yeah, you know, apparently someone was rebel rousing outside, and the owners of the venue, right, told this person to leave. They gave him some rules or something like, hey, stay over there past that property line or something like that. And then they still kept like bothering, being annoying to like some of even like our patrons, or rather the people that were there coming to see us. You know, I remember, right, we got kids and stuff there. They were like putting cameras up, and people like, it was weird, man. All around weird situation. Again, this is what I'm picking up. And then at some point, the owners, I guess, after trying to give the person a break, ended up calling the law boys. And the law boys got them out of there at some point. Funny thing is, I didn't know anybody got arrested outside the event until a fan actually came up to me and told me that was the case. And I was like, oh, well, sucks to suck, I guess. But yeah, it's a weird thing. You got some people are like, you know, Eric called the cops on someone. I'm like, did y'all not see how busy I was during that event? Like, how would I have done that? How would I have ever had the time to even do that? I'm signing stuff. I'm shaking hands. I'm taking pictures. And at no time did I have any, like, because to my knowledge, there were never any cops that were there that was physically in the actual event. So it's not like I ever talked to a cop that night or anything. I had nothing to do with any of that goofy stuff, you know. So yeah, that was, to my knowledge, all that happened. It was outside. Didn't make it to the event. Didn't interrupt what we were doing. And again, that's a testament to the I guess the staff as well as the owners, ensuring that it was a smooth event. But yeah, man, it's like, this is my suggestion, right, to anybody that's out there that, you know, even if you had problems. Hell, I had a guy come up to me today that was a RSVP. He came to the event, told me how he felt about ISOM, didn't like it. He liked ISOM 2, but didn't like ISOM 1. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, and we took pictures, we shook hands, we chatted about it. It's all good. Like, this is my recommendation. You know what I mean? If there is something that, definitely if you want to tell me about things, do things the proper way, man. The last dude that you want to be is someone that's like trying to cause a scene and being weird to people, innocent parties and stuff like that. Don't do that at all. And yeah, just do things the proper way. And, you know, if you want to chat about something, as long as it's cordial, we're good to go. I encourage that. I talk about that all the time, and how, you know, if I'm at an event and I don't care whether it's negative or whatever, as long as you're respectful, man, you can come chat with me and all is going to be gravy. So yeah, just do things the right way. But as far as some cat, and I do know that, yeah, it is a guy that has apparently doxed my house before. He's threatened. He went to my people's graves and stuff. So this isn't just a random guy. This probably this guy that don't got it all upstairs. But as far as I guess that person being arrested, I had nothing to do with that. I gotta say, sucks to suck. And these folks are like, hey man, Eric Carter, I'm pretty sure with all the streams and all that were going live, y'all saw I didn't have time to do any of that. Right? Like calling cops on, I had no time. You blame the owners if you want to blame anybody. But either way, what the hell else are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to, well, what was I supposed to do? Let's assume that, because again, I didn't know any of this was going on until after the fact. But let's assume that I did. What was I supposed to do? Stop the event and go handle a rebel? Like, for what reason would I do that? But also, you know, of course, you have people pulling the card. Oh, he's a libertarian, all this. Why would he do this? Again, the cops had nothing to do with me. But I just remember an event that was not too long ago that, granted, we got out unscathed, that a lot of people were cheering on folks getting the government involved to do what could have ruined my entire company at the time. And folks had no problem cheering that on. And that was certainly a wake-up call for me. Again, we got out of that unscathed. But what it was a wake-up call because, as I've said before, even on the subject of like IP, who cares what my principles are? What good does principles do me? Did principles stop us from getting sued? Did my position on IP stop someone? No, it doesn't. Like, nobody cares about that. Like, the world is what it is, right? And I'm gonna move accordingly for sure. But either way, I take credit for it if we should take credit for it. But no, just don't go probably making a scene and making it uncomfortable for guests. And you'll probably be all right. Just don't do that. Be respectful, be cordial. Even if it's like, hey, I got some exceptions. I'll take exceptions to some things that Eric said. That's fine. Just do it the right way, man. Be cordial, be respectful, and like, hey man, I'm here. Just wanted to talk to you about so and so. Cool. We'll have a little chat and we'll whatever. Like, just be respectful. Just be respectful. Don't be an idiot. But yeah, that's I guess that's all I can say. It was real. I get all of what I saw was aftermath from that. You know what I mean? Like, that was it. It's funny because Brandon did. I'll say this much, that, you know, Brandon did, like, you know, he has a way of fucking Brando, man. Has a way of kind of like making sure that like things are taken care of, right? And, you know, he comes up to me and he's like, hey, just letting you know, some guy causing trouble outside and, you know, owners are taken care of. Like, all right, whatever. I'm thinking it's somebody drunk or whatever the fuck. It was nothing of it. But then, yeah, afterwards, obviously come to find it was somebody that was just trying to make it uncomfortable for guests and being loud and obnoxious. And, of course, the owners were going to take exception to that either way. But, yeah, there's a proper way to do things, man. don't do that. But like I said, I do think the context of that is important. This isn't just some random person. It's a person that is pro doxing and already talk about going to one of my houses, and in addition to the business, right, and being weird about that type of stuff. Again, involving innocent parties. And you gotta understand what kind of event this is as well. We got kids there. My niece is right there. My wife is right there. Like, just trying to cause a scene, and you failed. But don't do that. Just do things the proper way, bro. Just definitely, if you want to come speak with me, just do it the proper way, and you'll be all right. So, yeah, that's all that happened out of that. Never, like I said, it was taken care of. I had nothing to do with anything other than showing love to our fans. That's what it's about. We got Lucas Garrett becoming an Ultra Mac. Appreciate that. Every Parker with a 2 says Brandon helps with all except food spots. Yeah, man. Brandon is, he makes sure the show is running the way that it is. There were some things that also that, we be in the middle of the event, and I'm like, thankfully our warehouse wasn't that far away, but there were things that we needed to grab, and, Brandon made sure he went to go grab those. It was he made sure everything was good, bro. So big shout out to him. So yeah. Where am I at? We got Lucas becoming an Ultra Mac. Appreciate that. We got Professor X with a 20. Says really good to meet you in person yesterday, and appreciate you signing my DIY book. Yes, the car book. Yes, it says that you and Jen and Sylvia have made forever fans out of my mom and pops. I love to hear that. They love meeting y'all and are excited for the next meetup, man. I absolutely love hearing things like that, man. Big shout out to you, homie. Big shout out to you. Avery Parker with a 5 says, host a Rippaverse barbecue and boxing event simultaneously will solve a lot of problems. Volunteers tribute, fighting for blood, roots, hand in marriage, says my man, Avery Parker. Avery Parker, man. He's jacked too, man. Shout out to Avery Parker. Shout out. Miami, you called. Well, you got to understand, who was that? Sander, you got to understand, like, y'all know what this is. There's nothing that we could ever say that would change people's minds. People's minds were made up regardless. It's the same circle of whatever's, man. So truth be damned, you can't change those people's minds at all. It sounds a lot better, even though it doesn't make sense. Like I said, I'm contained to one spot, and I'm shaking hands, and I'm taking pictures, all that. The fact that I don't know, what do they think? I'll just run the police department or something like that, and I can just phone in and then how would that work anyway? Like, hey, arrest that person for fucking what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? Sorry, I don't have that type of pull. Definitely considering my comments, I doubt they're the biggest fans of me as well. But no, it's you can't convince people otherwise, man. It's just they're gonna believe what they're gonna believe, and let them do so. Truth is the truth, and we don't do that. Like I said, I don't run a business for people that despise me. I run it for my fans and obviously my employees. So, and look, we've said it before. Professionalism is so vital, man, for what I do now. You know, it's something that I've worked to get better at for sure, because it took some getting used to there for a while. You know, coming from being in almost I won't say exclusively in the YouTube space, never did that, but you know what I'm saying. Like, doing all of that stuff was a big part of a chunk, let's say, of my YouTube career, if you want to call it that. And then the Rippaverse starts and it explodes, and then I need to focus on that. So you have to understand also, and granted, it is ignorance, right? Because it's not like these people are in the position that I'm in. It is ignorance. These guys aren't like professionals. They're not dealing with stuff that I'm dealing with. So I'm not gonna say I don't fault them, because, you know, it still is a choice. You can not be stupid. You can go learn about things. But in the same respects, in the eyes of most people, I will always be just a guy that was on YouTube talking shit about comics and stuff. That's all I ever be to them. So definitely crossing into a more professional territory, man. Guys, we've made like $10 million in the last 2 years. I haven't even been 2 years yet, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like, what I'm dealing with is beyond me sitting in a room recording videos. Like, it's a lot more on the line. I got other people's family's really, it's on the line because I got all these employees, and then on top of that, you have a big customer base of people that look forward to doing what, or like, you know, being customers of the Rippaverse. That has to be my primary focus, and that looks a lot different than what we did, what I was doing like in the gap, and I totally understand it, right? But to a lot of those guys, I will never be anything like that anymore. And they would love for me to engage in a lot of the foolery and the foolishness, which will require me to make my business not even secondary. It will require it to really put it on the back burner, and I just can't do that. I have to be a professional. I will continue to be one, and I will continue to grow and be a better one. But that's my focus. That'll be what I place emphasis on going forward. And I've long told y'all that. But for a lot of folks, they'll never get used to that. They will never. I'll always be a guy that's just talking a bunch of noise on YouTube about comic books and what's happening in pop culture and politics, and that's all I ever be. Not an actual businessman that is running a multi-million-dollar comic book company, a publishing company with an animation studio, and I got to move like that. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry, but you get what I'm saying. I can't. There's some expectations that maybe you want me to live up to that I just will never be able to live up to, because those days are long gone, bro. They're long gone. All right. We have a 5 from a man's Junior. Says, yesterday's meetup was awesome, man. I love seeing you in Houston. I've seen you in Dallas. Says, I forgot to tell you that we need another Rippaverse long box. So I do want to get started on another box. That's something I'm working on. We got a couple of things that we need to do, because I would love for Kanan to do the other box. But we do want to get you guys short boxes, more boxes for sure. We have Uzaru with 11 months. Says, Rippa, I'm gonna need a salvage PI #1 soon. Yeah, a lot of people asking for that. Let's analyze it. Let's get all the orders out. Then we'll analyze it. We'll see where everybody's at, see how everybody's feeling. We have be on the lookout for emails, because I do want to do some sort of formal, like, to all the purchasers. Obviously, we have all that, and we can send you the emails. But the purchasers of the RippaZine, I want to know how they felt about salvage. And just be on the lookout for that. We'll do polls, and that's going to determine if salvage is going to have the next book. We'll see. Or one of the next books. Man, Dan says, monetize your hater vibes will always be there for us to watch. Yeah, it's not like those are not there. If you want to kick it old school, you can always go back to those times where, again, I was YouTubing and doing streams. Dude, that point in time when I was doing like monetize your haters and all that stuff, bro, I was streaming every fucking day for the most part. It was crazy, bro. And the last one that I did was like a year ago, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, man, during the heyday of it all, man, I was streaming every day almost. I would do game streams on the weekend. I was a stream every day. I was streaming 5 times a day, sometimes a couple of days, a couple of times throughout the day. So I was always streaming like every fucking day. And I just don't think folks maybe understand just how much work goes into running this damn company. And I'm saying that in a positive way, not like I would much rather be arguing with someone who's straw manning every position that I have. It's just not a good use of my time. My time should be used appropriately, and that is building the company. That's growing the company. That's tending to my responsibilities, you know what I mean, as an owner of a multi-million-dollar company, right? And not everybody's gonna be down for that. Definitely in this age of like, people want these like sort of corny ass like internet edgelord like blood sport type of stuff, and I get it. Definitely, if that's something that other folks do, they're gonna prefer, obviously, that I'm out there in the trenches with them. But if I'm doing that, then how can I be publishing as much as we've published and as much as we want to publish? I told y'all I'm working to where I want to get a book a month at some point being dropped by this company. The company's not gonna run itself. And definitely with the responsibilities that I have, entering in all these business deals, trying to expand and negotiating and and trying to be forward thinking on top of being the EIC and making sure that from the editorial perspective, I'm doing my job as well as the writing when I need to. It's a lot of time, and I work more than I ever had before I was even doing all that YouTube stuff. Like that has nothing on what I do now. It's just not enough time in a day. If I had a twin like the Soskas, perhaps I could have one doing monetize your haters and then me running the company. Those days are done though, bro. Let's be realistic. And also just from a professionalism standpoint, it's just not really an appropriate way that a guy with as much on the line as I got to be operating. So stupid in that context. If I didn't have anything else going, for sure, I wouldn't be wasting time, I guess, at that point. But you get what I'm saying. With running a company like this, it's not a good use of my time, and it's also not professional. So, need y'all or two ASAP says Joe Music. Well, I've been getting pages back from Deborah, and that'll be on the way. That'll be on the way. But yeah, it also it's about picking your spots. Like, I'm not gonna completely abandon that. I mean, hell, I can't say that I wouldn't actually, because who knows, man? If this thing keeps growing in the way that it grows, shout out to Todd McFarlane, not just because we have the luxury of working with McFarlane Toys, but McFarlane and looking at what he's done, like with what he's built, and also his social media presence, right? I don't know if you guys paid attention to that. He is almost exclusively talking about McFarlane related stuff. He's doing all those videos, he's doing the shorts, and all of it's about toys. It's about the industry. It's about what he's got. Like, everything that he does is basically surrounding. Yeah, there may be a comment or two, but even the comments, it's about the industry in general, right? It's tough, bro. And that's cool. Like, when that's your primary thing, that's how it's gonna look. So I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that we'll never get to that point. And I certainly don't want to say that, like, hey, I'm going to always be just doing videos every now and then. Because at least right now, we got Ripping a Silverback. That's a cool little time for me to talk about other stuff that's going on. But it's like designated to like a 2-hour slot on one day, right? And then every other day, except obviously the hour slot for Cannon's Sake on Mondays, my other time is dedicated to working. So I can't promise that it'll still even be that. Like, there may become a time where Rippaverse ends up being $100 million fucking company. And perhaps, yeah, everything that I put out may have to do with the Rippaverse. Every video that I put out, every, article, every short, everything that I do may have something to do with the Rippaverse. And make it to that point. Hell, it would be a good problem to have. I'm going to work as if I can get to that point. Let's say that. We got student OG says, if you see Sun Shoot medallion, run. Love the books more. Love the books more, please. Says Daniel with 38 months. Thank you so much. About Bruce with a 5 says, there's too much excitement for this universe and too much work to do building the company. No time for you to waste on hateful trolls. Yeah, you're right, 100%. Everybody that's told me that, a lot of fans like, bro, like, your focus, understand what you've built here. You got a multi-million-dollar company, bro. Is your time better used to tend to that? Or is it engaging in some sort of homosexual rigmarole and internet blood sports, which is homosexual rigmarole at the end of the day? And yeah, the answer is I should be focused on my company, not the gay shit. Night Rona with a 5 says, just keep your nose to the grindstone. We got you. Congratulations to the sisters. Y'all rocked. Keep killing it. It's funny. You bring up the Soskas, and I talked to a fan about that yesterday. And someone asked me about just how I'm dealing with stuff. It's like, man, they see a lot of, because that's the one thing I guess I don't like, because a lot of people may be discouraged, right? Not maybe, they are discouraged. I mean, hell, we had a guy pull out of the fan art contest because he just a bunch of nonsense that was surrounding it, and you got people that obviously act badly, involving themselves in this bullshit. And the fan at the meetup yesterday, he's all like asking me how I deal with that, right? Of most scrutinized man in comics. It's not even close either, and there's just a lot of like obsession stuff, right? And I told him there's two things. One was, I was into some very foolish things growing up, man. And whatever the hell this is nothing like what I've experienced. I'll make the argument, even with music, what I had to deal with and what I had to deal with over the years with music is more weird than what's happening now. As far as, well, not necessarily in the volume, for sure. No. I won't say that. Like, for sure, me starting the Rippaverse, there's nothing like that. There was, let's be honest. This, let's say, got people feeling some kind of way, more of them than anything that I've ever done. So there's that element, but I've experienced like true issues. Been there, done that. So I at least I got calluses, okay? But another thing, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I have learned from some of the people that I've had the opportunity to work with, the Saskas being one of them. Of no fault of their own, in the Saskas, it's because they work with me. They had to deal with people zeroing in on them and just saying crazy things with the intention to defame, and it's just because they work with me. And if you want an example of how to deal with that with absolute professionalism, look at how the Saskas dealt with it. Big shout out to them. They are this like ray of positivity. It's big shout out to them. And I learned a lot from them and how they dealt with that, man. You know what I'm saying? So I have to give a big shout out to them because, again, like I said, I learned from that as well. And how to maintain sort of that professionalism and focusing on what you need to focus on when you have just people just being weird. So, yeah, big shout out to them and, everybody as well. Fans, everybody. It's just like, look, bro, you've transcended anything that you've ever done. What the fuck are you doing trying to still engage in that goofy shit? Focus on the business. So that's what I did. And guys were rewarding me for it. Let's be honest. Let's be 1,000% honest on that. Like, I'm living a dream right now. East Coast Toasty Boy with 21 months says the big three coming soon. Rippaverse will be the next, will be the best of them, says East Coast Toasty Boy. We'll see. Shout out to you, man. Love to see you in the chat as always. My man's Mark with a 5. Gooding, Horseman this month or next. Gooding will be, we were trying to get it out this month for sure. Horseman, I don't want to say it will be the following month, but we have a commitment to the summer. It's being lettered right now, Horseman. Gooding's done. Some couple of like little pages that we need to do, little corrections, but as far as the actual book is done. Bloodruth by Halloween. We'll see. Yaira 2, ISOM 3 this year. ISOM 3, I think we can get out this year for sure. Yaira 2, we'll see. How many unannounced books next year? Next year now, hell. I mean, we'll see. Next year is going to be crazy. You never did a video review on the purple mattress. I did say I was going to do that, huh? Back then. There's always that for a change of pace. Yeah, I still have it. Update. What has it been? Couple of years? Few years now, and it's awesome. It's awesome. The Thinking with a 10 says, bro, y'all was legit action packed. Side note, I get the trolls on my Rippaverse coverage. I just thank them for engaging with my channel. They help my stats. They keep that fire coming, bro. We got you. The Thinking man, I see your videos all the time. I see everybody. I talk to some Rippaverse creators as well at the meetup. And, man, we got something for y'all with the website, man. We want to not only incentivize you guys to continue doing what you're doing, but we want to be able to send traffic to your, send our audience to your videos. So there's some cool things that we'll be doing with the memberships, forums, and all that good stuff. That we're trying to make sure that we take care of those that create Rippaverse-based content and funneling like traffic there, putting eyes on it and making sure the audience knows that there's a cool group of creators that don't work with the Rippaverse. They're just doing this on their own accord, and they're doing some cool things too, make some very cool videos. So big shout out to you, man. And yeah, I figure anybody that does anything, look, it's a different animal. That's what I think separates the Rippaverse. It has created a lot of folks that are not just aggravated at it, but it's one thing to not like it. Okay. I've said this before. People don't like shit, and that's their right to do it. That's one thing, but what we have are people angry that people like it, and that's a little weird. Black Tailgate with a 5, man. Good to see you, bro. Says, I'm glad I was able to make it out to Dallas and meet everyone in person. I had a blast and even got some networking done. Ooh, love to see that. Love to hear that. I'd love to see that. Shout out. Black Tailgate, man. It's cool to see you. We got the Worthy with a 2 says, were any rappers who influenced you? If so, who? From like how where do I fucking start there? Well, people that know me know that I've always pointed to Lauryn Hill's Miseducation album, which I know though I don't remember who or what was magazine or whoever did like top albums of all time, and there were some Zoomers that were acting like, because Lauryn Hill's Miseducation album went number one. It was number one, and there were people like, who the hell is that? Is arguably the greatest album ever made. It is a jam top to bottom. It was I grew up in the choir and all that, but as far as a album, as a cassette tape, my mom had it, of that made me want to do music. It was that Miseducation album by Lauryn Hill. For sure. Hands down. She was singing, she was doing rap stuff on top of that. But yeah, man. But yeah, listening to a lot of, I mean, I've listened to so much different stuff. I mean, I also was coming in the era where the Texas hip hop scene was starting to grow, mostly out of Houston. You had some cats coming out of Dallas. But, you know, all that was, mixtape era, selling CDs out of the trunks. I was very much involved in all that, and it was cool seeing folks do that. But as far as how to spit, I gotta throw L Boogie there. You can maybe throw like Nas in there, maybe Elzai from Slum Village in there as well, because I listened to a lot of him. There's a reference to like cadence and stuff like that. And yeah, I think that was about it. So yeah. All right. We have Sasquatch with a 5 says, Eric, business idea. Special comments come with one time QR code, lead to specifics and 3D printing their own statue. Stay grinding. Okay. Johnny Red with a 5 says, how many covers for Gooding? Also need, it'll be 3 or 4. It'll never go above 4. Also need CGC box. All these graded Rippaverse comics are adding up. Special like actual CGC box. Maybe there is something that we can do with that. I'll look into that as well. Red Strider, oh man, it's good to see you with a 5. Says, great to see you last night, Ripper. It was good to see you. He said the weekly Rogues Gallery would love to have you on sometime. Yeah, we got to make it happen. It was man, hey, got to have a good chat with you, man. Good to see you, bro. Talked about sharing reviews and all that stuff, man. Big shout out to you, homie. Scorpio with a 5 said, I hope you got lots of good feedback on Salvage at Dallas. Oh yeah, I mean, people were bringing it up left to right. I couldn't make it to Dallas, but I'll be at Denver. Well, we'll see you then. Yeah, people bring it up left to right. Salvage, man. We'll see. If the fans demand it, we will do something longer for them. Bart Sears is ready. Ready. So, yeah. Good times, man. Just all around good times. I love to hear that. Glad people are enjoying the magazine. Not just a story, but the actual magazine altogether. You get it for $7. You can still get it. Got Gooding next. It's kind of crazy, man. I'm coming off this high of this event. Now, back to work. Got to work and gonna get Gooding. All-time D'Angelo Voodoo Bro changed. Well, that's a really good album, too. Larry Parker says with it, too. But, that's more R&B stuff, right? I guess you could throw El Boogie in there, too, though. But like I said, she was at least rapping on it. My man's Lawrence, what's up? LG with a 5 says, wish I was able to go to Meetup, but I got caught in the work the night before. Keep it up, kinfolk. I'd love to have you on the podcast. So I'm game. Lawrence, aren't you in where are you at, San Antonio? If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong on that. So yeah, not that far, but if you gotta work, you gotta make that money, bro. Yeah, he's in San Antonio. Okay. Yeah. We'd love for you to get out there, man. Hopefully we'll eventually do something out there that's actually out there. I mean, we always in San Antonio. That's where the band is technically based out of, San Antonio. That's where Backwards records all our music. That's where most of our members are from. So, yeah. We're going to make it happen. We'll have another one somewhere in Texas. Hopefully we can get you out there. But, yeah, I'm game. I'm game to chat, talk on podcast. Hell, yeah. Studio. Corey, his name's Corey Brunneman. He's our producer. Been our same producer out of San Antonio since day fucking one. Like Grindstone. Like that was the first song I had recorded. Hell, he's actually a large part of why Backwards is a thing, because I met Kevin and all those guys through Corey. Maybe do a meetup later this year. I'm game for that. I'm 100% game for a San Antonio meetup. Absolutely. We got a 5 from Todd Salter. Says, while I don't like your characters, I respect your work. Also, New York and New Jersey, pizza is the best. The rest is third rate, says Todd Salters with a 5. Okay. There's going to be a lot of cities that's going to disagree with that, but cool. We have the Worthy with a 2 says, I'm personally a Pete Rock and CL Smooth guy. Okay, I can dig that. I can dig Pete Rock. So yeah, again, guys, thanks to everybody that came out there, show love. Man, what a great event it was, man. We got Great Ghost with a 10 says, shout out to y'all. that went to the meetup. I wasn't able to make the 2-hour drive up from CTX this weekend, but definitely will make the next one. Okay. From the photos and streams, it looked live as fuck. That shit was wall to wall for a little bit there. It was a show, bro. We had a blast. What a time we had, bro. Holy shit. I had an absolute blast, man. Big shout out. All right. What else we got? That's one I got. Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. Okay, so we are gonna do a show tomorrow. We are gonna do 4K in a sec tomorrow. So we'll talk about some stuff. I know there's cool things going on in gaming. I kind of want to chime in on that. Maybe we will have some more things to talk about with the meetup. Then we'll probably put out a little video for people that weren't able to get there. We'll put that out. But I'm gonna get back to work because again, talking all that stuff about, hey man, shit to do. So yeah, let me go get to work. Thanks all y'all, man, hanging out with me for a little bit. Just wanted to recap, show some love to those that show love to us back, or show love to us first, more or less, because y'all don't have to do what y'all do. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. But yeah, let me go get to work, man. See y'all tomorrow at 4K and Sakes. Has got to make the next meetup, says Joe Music with a 2. Hell yeah, we got to get y'all. All right, bros. Y'all be easy, man. Peace out.